We are back here in studio, right in the middle of the Kaisozes, and the same thing we were just talking about. Yeah, I know. And Rockers, it takes skill. It takes skill, and my brother, kudos to you.
It's beat matching.
Yeah.
I mean, any DJ should be able to do it, right? Is if people willing to figure out how to do it and take the time to explore the music.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Anyway, going into our interview right now, we are speaking about Know Your Rights with the EOC. With me this morning is Haran Ramkaransingh, who is the Director of Legal Services, Equal Opportunity Commission. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Carrie. Thanks for having us.
And thanks for joining us as well.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm.
So first off, tell us, what is the Equal Opportunity Commission?
Well, the Equal Opportunity Commission is a statutory body. We are created by the Equal Opportunity Act of Trinidad and Tobago. So we are a public body. Our purpose is really to enforce the act. We are responsible. Our primary purpose really is to receive complaints from members of the public. So members of the public who believe they've been subjected to certain types of discrimination.
Right.
The Equal Opportunity Act was passed to prohibit certain kinds of discrimination. For example, discrimination based on race, on ethnicity, on religion, on your sex, on your marital status. These are what we call status grounds. Right. It applies to discrimination in 4 broad categories. That is, discrimination in employment, in education, in the provision of goods and services, and the provision of accommodation. So if you were subjected to discrimination in your employment, but it has to be based on a status ground. So if you were discriminated in your employment because of your sex, or your race, your religion, your disability, that sort of thing, then you can lodge a complaint with the Commission. We are empowered to receive, to investigate the complaints. Where possible, we try to conciliate it. That is, we bring the parties to the table for discussion. If we cannot resolve it, the Equal Opportunity Act created a second institution, that is the Equal Opportunity Tribunal, and they are a court, and they function just like, say, the High Court or the Industrial Court. The matter goes there, it is heard and determined by a judge. So those are the 2 institutions created by the Act, and just to clarify, we are from the Commission, which is the enforcement body, the regulatory body, the investigative body.
And how do you serve to enforce that the Act is upkept? Aside from the basic functions you mentioned there, how do you, really hone in and enforce all the key factors of the Act?
Well, with respect to complaints, we are to some extent reactive in that you have to lodge a complaint. It is not our mandate, for example, to go into an organization and hold what you would call a commission of inquiry into their operation. So if you are the employee and you've been discriminated against, you would have to lodge a complaint. But quite apart from that, we do certain proactive things like we engage in public education. For example, what I'm doing now is a form of public education.
Right.
We publish guidelines, and all of our guidelines are available on our website, can be downloaded free of charge. We have guidelines for employers on disability. We have guidelines for employers on sexual harassment, which is a form of sex-based discrimination. And we have guidelines for employment on discrimination, on employees on discrimination generally. We review the Act. We make recommendations for amendments. So quite apart from the complaints handling process, we have other things that we do to enforce the Act and inform the public as to who we are and what we do.
Now, when it comes to the enforcement of the Act, does the Act apply only to public bodies, or does it extend to the private sector as well?
No, it applies actually both to the public sector and to the private sector. So in that way, it is different. The only other legislation that deals with discrimination is the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, which guarantees the right to equality of treatment and equality of treatment by a public body and equality before the law.
Right.
The Constitution, however, only applies to the public sector, to public bodies, to the state. Whereas the Equal Opportunity Act, which deals with discrimination, the Equal Opportunity Act's remit is a bit more specific. So whereas, for example, the Constitution speaks about equality of treatment generally, the Equal Opportunity Act looks at non-discrimination in, and as I said, the 4 big areas on your status grounds, but it applies to both the public sector and the private sector. So if, for example, you are employed by a private sector employer, you can lodge a complaint. For example, the provision of accommodation. If you go to a landlord and you are turned away because of your race, your religion, your ethnicity, your sex, your disability, your marital status, you can lodge a complaint against the private landlord.
Actually did not know about that.
Yes.
All right. So again, things like this, public education is something that would really help to bolster the awareness of our rights as citizens and individuals when it comes to discrimination and equal opportunity. Let's speak a little more about the Equal Opportunity Tribunal.
Yes. Yes, well, they are a tribunal. It is chaired by a judge who is appointed by the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. In other words, it is a judge of equal status to the judge of the High Court. And the judge is assisted by 2 lay assessors, that is, persons who may not be lawyers, but bring to bear expertise in things like industrial relations, also things like religion, gender studies, these sorts of things. And their mandate is to hear and determine complaints that we have not been able to resolve and that we have referred to them for adjudication. The tribunal has only been functioning roughly for the last 10 years or so. But both the commission and the tribunal have been functioning roughly for the last 10 years, so that they are now developing their jurisprudence. But they have a website. I don't remember it offhand, but you can Google it. And their judgments are actually available on their website, so that if anyone is interested, they can go to their website and read the judgments that they've delivered thus far.
And Haran, when it comes to discrimination against people with disabilities, does the Equal Opportunities Act cover that as well?
Yes. Disability is one of the 7 status grounds. As I had said, there are 7 status grounds protected by the Act, and disability is one of them. I had mentioned, I think, the others, such as race, religion, sex, marital status, and disability is one of them.
All right. And with that, where could we get more information?
You can check our website, www.eoc.gov.tt. And in the website, you'll get our contact numbers. You can always call our office and speak to any one of our members of staff who can assist you. But we always tell people, the first line really should be, check the website, because we have a lot of information there.
Wonderful.
So anyone can go on the website and check it.
All right. With that, I want to thank you so much, Haran Ramkaransingh, Director of Legal Services, Equal Opportunities Commission.
Yes,
and,
thank you for having us.
Thank you for your time this morning, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you for having it. Sorry, just to mention though, we are working with the TTMA on their Trade and Investment Convention. So we have an online seminar on Thursday through TIC, the Trade and Investment Convention. You can go onto their website and log on to it. It is from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m.
All right, well, thank you so much. And if you want to know your rights, those are the platforms by which you can reach out, get more information. Again, that was Haran Ramkaransingh. We're going to take a short break and come right back here on the Now Morning Show. We continue in the Kaiso Zest. Nowhere else to be, right? Stay right here. Stay locked.